Right, what is going on, guys? My name is Jason Brown and this is the Bang & Olufsen Beolab 6000 loudspeaker, which I'm going to be reviewing for you. So this is the speaker system that I've been using for the past few months now, and I am incredibly impressed of them. They were released in 1992 and the production went all the way up to 2010, so they were a really popular, long-lasting loudspeaker in the range. The last retail price for them was £2,250 UK. And you may be looking at them and thinking, hell no, I'm not paying that much for such a tiny speaker. But in this video I'm going to tell you why the sound is so good in such a long and thin cabinet. So these are active loudspeakers. In each speaker at the bottom they have A/B amplifiers which kick out 59 watts. And I know that sounds terrible, but it's actually perfect because it's just the right amount of power that the drivers use in the cabinet, so it's no distortion, no worry of overloading the loudspeakers. Now it's worth noting that the construction of these is just impeccable. The backs and the top is made out of a polished aluminium, which is very, very high quality. It feels really rock solid. And at the base the construction is sort of a cast steel, which turns into plastic at the top to keep the weight way down, leaving these speakers very hard to topple over. Now the bases are also steel. They can be undone, taken off and replaced with a wall mount, which is made out of a lovely milled aluminium, but they are very expensive, so I haven't got round to getting them. The ports are right on the very bottom of the speaker and they are fed through a back panel, so you've got your two power links, you've got your line input and the power. I'm using line with these because I've got a Beolab 9000 which does not have any power link capabilities, which is fine. Now you may notice that the colour is slightly different on these ones. Mine are from 2008 and I got them in a really rare sort of white silvery colour, and they stand out from the crowd of the rest of the speakers. Now one of the reasons why these were so popular was because their performance was impeccable. They pack into a room really nicely, you can hide them away against the wall, but their sound still fills the entire room really nicely. Everything's warm, rich, and has a surprising kick to it. Now this is down to the clever engineering by the people at Bang & Olufsen. Now the added performance from these speakers is due to the design of the woofers and how they work. So we'll take the cover off, and now you can see two mid-range bass drivers and the tweeter at the top. This is plastic, but all of this down is steel and aluminium. Now if you're sitting down on the sofa, these tweeters are almost at ear level, which is fantastic. And the drivers, there are two of them, so they can pack in just as much power as one large woofer in the space of this cabinet by using two, which is great. And I believe these are 3.5-inch drivers. Now there is a bass port on these speakers. It's at the top here, so the air comes out like that. Now this keeps sound free and detailed by not letting the bass ports hit against the back wall. So now I'm going to talk about the sound starting from the higher range. Now the tweeters are the same ones used on the Beolab 8000s, the bigger brothers. They are really clean and textured in sound, and there's no tinniness whatsoever. It's a very, very well constructed sound. And for this price range there's nothing to complain about in the higher range. It's dealt with really well. It's separated, doesn't get mixed in with the rest of the frequencies. It's basically spot on. Now onto the mid-range, which is my favourite thing about these speakers because it's really clear, it's clean, and it stands out, which is different from most loudspeakers you get these days. If you're looking for vocals or classical or even movies, the sound in the mid-range is fantastic and it won't be hiding away. And even if you crank it louder, the mid-range, the vocals will always keep its own, it will never lose its detail. Now onto the bass of these speakers. The bass is really quite wonderful. They're very surprising in their bass performance because of the size of the cabinets I was telling you about and the woofer performance. They'll go down to 50 Hz and they won't blow you away with their performance of bass. But you'll think, hang on a minute, some proper technology has gone into designing these cabinets. One of the best bits about the bass is that there's no colouring to it. The bass is quite transparent, so there's nothing added to it, there's no added thump. It's really what I think the artist would want the bass to sound like. It doesn't have massive presence within the rendition of the song, it's just there where it should be. Right, for this section I've got them hooked up properly, both of them to my amplifier. and I'm going to be using this Tascam microphone to play a few songs for you, and they should be pretty accurate in the sound you'll be getting. The first one is got some wonderful vocals which I think are perfect for these speakers. Here we go.
Only I can write the story. Only you can draw the line. Only time can know the distance between your world and mine. If you gave me a million reasons, I could never tell you why. I can't say what.
Right, now this one is a really nice rock song from Royal Blood. It's a brilliant song in these speakers. So that concludes the review of the Bang & Olufsen Beolab 6000 loudspeakers. I hope you enjoyed it. They really are cracking speakers, and as long as you can get them cheap, like second hand, you're going to have a fantastic deal.